Movieology is brought to you by American Vision. In a future where people stop aging at 25, but are engineered to live only for one more year, having the means to buy all the time you can afford is a shot at immortal youth. Will Salas, a poor fellow from the projects, finds himself accused of murder and theft of a century, so he's on the run with a hostage, the daughter of the man behind the rigged time zones. Salas must figure out a way to bring down the system where time is money, literally, enabling the wealthy to live life forever, while the poor, like Will, have to beg, borrow, and steal enough minutes to make it through another day. End Time stars Justin Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried, Cillian Murphy, Vincent Kartheiser, and Olivia Wilde. It was directed by Andrew Niccol. Welcome to Movieology, I'm Joseph Darnell. We're knee-deep into the holiday movie releases already. Now is the time that most everyone goes to theaters at least once during the holidays. So to keep up with the influx, we're changing the Movieology format so that we can keep up with the theaters. The video episodes of Movieology are going to be shorter, and the written full reviews are going to have more content than the videos. So the written review is a full in-depth analysis on the films for people that want the most out of the reviews. The videos are great if you're on the go and want to avoid spoilers. This is the first episode of Movieology in this transition. We'll be releasing more reviews as fast as possible to keep up with new releases in the theaters. At first glance, End Time sounds like an amazing premise for a science fiction movie. Time literally is money. No other currency exists. Everyone stops aging at 25 and will only keep living as long as there is time on their counter. So you can potentially live forever in a 25-year-old body. It becomes quickly evident that the movie isn't so much about time, but rather a commentary on political and economic dysfunction in our own world. Most of the characters have squandered their time and lived from day to day, begging, borrowing, or stealing enough time to get by. End Time attempts to make up for its weaknesses with clever dialogue in the form of loads of one-liners, and it has many time jokes as it can muster, and harried action scenes that are comprised of unoriginal car chases and fights that end as soon as they begin. The acting is lame. The characters lack cohesive motivation. The soundtrack sounds like that of a TV serial, and the costumes make everyone in the movie look like wealthy or poor supermodels. Seeing as how poor the film quality is, the politics and philosophy of End Time are really all that is worth considering. Will Salas is a member of the poorest of the poor that lives in a time zone for his economic class. People discriminate against those who have less time. The poor are not at liberty to travel outside of their cities because they have to pay lots of time to go in to the other time zones with higher costs of living. The wealthy are self-proclaimed Darwinian capitalists. Ooh, sounds ominous, right? And they see nothing wrong with this system. The story is a morality tale that portrays conservatives and capitalists as wealthy Scrooges that lord over the poor, stealing the very source of life from anyone and everyone they can. And it's an emotionally charged, hypothetical scenario that presupposes capitalism will result in cruelty from the privileged. For the poor, there's nothing left but slavery and lonely deaths in the streets. Rather than proposing a system that works to counter the evil capitalism, the heroes have nothing that they know of that can work to stop it. The best that the good guys come up with is robbing the wealthy to feed the poor. They excuse this because they say, the wealthy stole first. But it's never really clear who's to blame since everyone is out to do what they think is right in their own eyes. Sentimentality is all that tells us who we should be rooting for as the audience. This is a quintessential aspect of the romanticism. However, even with the good guy sentimentality, to tell them who's morally right and how they should behave, we realize everyone in the movie has a reason to be sentimental. So the emotionalism negates itself. At the heart of the politics, End Time is one-dimensionally favoring Marxism and Romanticism, and claims capitalists are greedy, murderous bad guys. The film stacks the cards against the worldviews it dislikes. Marxism supports the notion that everyone should have an equal portion of wealth, life, and happiness. Romanticism is a worldview that dislikes anything that smells of aristocratic social and political norms. In the end times proposed worldviews leave the characters in a mess though. Nobody wins. There is no resolve in sight. The good guys are simply happy because they can live life one day at a time, thrill-seeking and liberating their emotional expressions. I give In Time 1 star out of 5. The premise is good and there are a lot of pretty faces, but the elaborate plot devices, cheesy lines, and incoherent logic self-destruct the film. We'd love it if you would add your own thoughts about In Time in a comment. Remember to watch Movieology on the website, movieology.tv, the source for worldview enthusiast news, reviews, and discussion of all things film. American Vision is a biblical worldview ministry. They have some of the best resources for history, apologetics, eschatology, and worldview studies. Movieology fans like you are treated to 10% off all purchases at AmericanVision.com when you use the coupon code Hollywood during checkout. Movieology followers should like Hollywood worldviews and the message behind the movie. 2 excellent books available at AmericanVision.com.